The Eritrean coastline, a dramatic stretch of land where the desert meets the deep blue waters of the Red Sea, is a place of both natural beauty and immense strategic value. Stretching over 1,000 kilometers, this coastline is not just a geographical feature, it is a lifeline that connects Africa to the Middle East and beyond. Today, Eritrea's shores are the focus of global attention, as shifting alliances and new economic ambitions converge on these waters. This strategic shoreline, including the storied Dahlak archipelago, serves as the eastern gatekeeper to the Bab-el-Mandeb Strait, a vital choke point for world trade, where the Red Sea narrows and global commerce is funneled through a narrow passage. Every day, thousands of vessels, carrying oil, goods, and resources, pass through these waters, making Eritrea's coast a critical commercial artery for nations far beyond Africa. Eritrea's geography grants it outsized geopolitical significance, with the deep-water ports of Massawa and Assab coveted by regional and global powers seeking influence over this essential maritime corridor. As military hardware gathers and tensions rise, Eritrea holds a key that could unlock prosperity for its people, or, if mishandled, unleash conflict that ripples across continents. The world's focus has sharpened, driven not only by global trade, but also by Ethiopia's growing demands for sea access, which have added urgency to the region's delicate balance. For Eritrea, sovereignty is tied to control of the sea, a hard-won prize after decades of struggle, sacrifice, and a relentless quest for independence. Ethiopia, landlocked and populous, frames port access as an existential need, turning the Red Sea into a theater of high-stakes diplomacy, negotiation, and sometimes confrontation. Once dismissed as a pariah, Eritrea now stands as the sentinel of the Red Sea, its next move poised to shape not only its own destiny, but the future of the entire region. Eritrea and Ethiopia's relationship is a saga of conflict, mistrust, and shifting alliances. For decades, the two neighbors have been locked in a cycle of uneasy coexistence, shaped by history and geography. After Eritrea's independence in 1993, Ethiopia lost its only access to the sea, a blow that fueled decades of resentment and strategic anxiety in Addis Ababa. The Red Sea, once open to Ethiopia, now lay beyond its reach, deepening the sense of loss. The border war of the late 1990s left scars that never healed. Tens of thousands died, and the disputed boundary became a symbol of unresolved grievances. Even the brief peace of 2018, once hailed as historic, has unraveled amid renewed suspicion. The 2022 Pretoria Agreement, which ended the Tigray War, excluded Eritrea from the negotiating table. For Eritrea, this exclusion was more than a diplomatic slight. It deepened its sense of betrayal and isolation from regional decision-making. By 2025, tensions spill onto the world stage. At the United Nations, Ethiopia accuses Eritrea of mobilizing troops and supporting armed militias along the border, raising alarms about a possible new conflict. Eritrea, in turn, dismisses Ethiopia's rhetoric as desperate posturing, insisting it is merely defending its sovereignty and accusing Ethiopia of stoking regional instability. Military movements intensify on both sides. Eritrean reinforcements mass near the strategic port of Assab, signaling their readiness to defend the coastline at all costs. Meanwhile, Ethiopia is determined to regain its maritime power. With Russian support, it rebuilds its navy, training new sailors and acquiring modern patrol boats to project influence in the Red Sea. The construction of Ethiopia's new naval headquarters and the training of officer cadets underscore its ambition to restore sea access and assert itself as a regional power. For Eritrea, these moves confirm long-held fears of encirclement and an imminent threat from its larger neighbor. The sense of vulnerability grows with every new development. The war of words is now matched by a dangerous military buildup. Tanks, artillery, and convoys gather on both sides, raising the specter of open conflict. The region stands on the brink, With both sides preparing for a conflict neither can afford. The world watches anxiously, hoping for a diplomatic breakthrough before it's too late. Eritrea's control of its coastline is not just a matter of geography. It is a defining feature of the nation's very existence. The coastline, stretching along the Red Sea, is the cornerstone of Eritrea's national identity and survival, shaping its history and its future. The ports of Massawa and Assab are more than economic lifelines. They are enduring symbols of hard-won independence, fiercely guarded by a defensive military doctrine that leaves little room for compromise. The border with Ethiopia is one of Africa's most militarized frontiers, with Eritrean forces maintaining a constant state of readiness, prepared to repel any incursion at a moment's notice. National service is compulsory and far-reaching, ensuring a state of permanent mobilization. This policy keeps the army large, disciplined, and experienced, with nearly every family touched by military service. Assab, located near the tense Ethiopian border, is a true fortress. Access is tightly controlled, and the military presence is overwhelming, with checkpoints and fortifications dominating the landscape. Any suggestion of leasing the port to Ethiopia is flatly rejected by Eritrean authorities, who see such proposals as existential threats to their sovereignty and security. Eritrea's doctrine of control extends to the sea, where a capable navy patrols its waters, conducts regular exercises, and deters threats from both state and non-state actors. The military's firm grip projects strength to the world, sending a clear message that Eritrea's borders, both land and sea, are non-negotiable and will be defended at all costs. For Eritrea, compromise is not an option. The nation's sovereignty is considered absolute, and any challenge is met with unwavering resolve. In a volatile region marked by shifting alliances and frequent conflict, Eritrea's strategy is clear: deterrence through strength, vigilance, and unity. The nation's very survival depends on unwavering control of its land and sea, a doctrine forged by history and maintained by constant vigilance. Eritrea has balanced self-reliance with shrewd diplomacy, leveraging its location to build alliances with Gulf states. The UAE, using Assab as a military base during the Yemen conflict, brought investment and security cooperation. Ties with the UAE and Saudi Arabia provide Eritrea with a diplomatic shield and a security backstop. As Ethiopia's rhetoric grows aggressive, Eritrea's coordination with Gulf partners deepens, forming a bloc committed to Red Sea stability. The West, once critical, now reassesses Eritrea's role as instability threatens global shipping. In September 2025, the EU commended Eritrea for maritime security, a dramatic shift in tone. This recognition boosts Eritrea's legitimacy and complicates Ethiopia's narrative. By cultivating Gulf and Western alliances, Eritrea strengthens its position and deters direct challenges. The nation's diplomatic web makes any move against it a high-stakes gamble. In late 2024, Eritrea, Egypt, and Somalia formed a tripartite security pact, quickly dubbed the Red Sea Wall. This alliance counters Ethiopia's ambitions, creating a united front that encircles its rival. Eritrea trains Somali forces, extending its influence along the coast. Egypt, wary of Ethiopia's dam on the Nile, provides diplomatic and intelligence support. Ethiopia finds itself isolated, its path to the sea blocked by a powerful coalition. The Red Sea Wall turns Ethiopia's quest for a port into a regional standoff. Eritrea's evolution from isolation to key player is complete, with President Isaias Afwerki leveraging regional anxieties to protect Eritrea's interests. The alliance signals that any attempt to redraw the map by force will meet coordinated resistance. Eritrea's stability is vital to global commerce. The Red Sea is a superhighway. 12% of world trade, including oil and gas, passes through the Bab-el-Mandeb Strait. Any disruption would send shockwaves through supply chains, raising costs and causing delays worldwide. Foreign military bases in the region underscore the global stakes. A conflict here could draw in major powers, escalating a local crisis into an international one. Eritrea positions itself as a guardian of maritime security, earning diplomatic leverage. The world may question Asmara's politics, but it cannot ignore Eritrea's crucial role. The nation's stability is now a matter of global economic security. Beneath the headlines, ordinary Eritreans bear the brunt of rising tensions. Fishermen face restricted waters and constant inspections, their livelihoods threatened by militarization. In Assab, residents live in fear, with fuel shortages and tight controls stifling business. Economic uncertainty cripples merchants, while the threat of war looms over daily life. Indefinite national service continues, with youth conscripted for years, unable to pursue their dreams. Hopes for peace have faded, replaced by renewed mobilization. Families are separated, ambitions sacrificed for security. Eritreans yearn for stability, but remain hostage to a conflict beyond their control. The true cost of this rivalry is measured in disrupted lives and lost futures. As 2025 ends, Eritrea stands at a crossroads, its actions resonating far beyond its borders. By fortifying its coast and forging alliances, Eritrea has asserted control over the Red Sea. To some, it's a stabilizing force. To others, a source of dangerous escalation. The Red Sea wall checks Ethiopia's ambitions, but risks provoking a desperate response. One misstep could ignite a conflict with global consequences. The world relies on Eritrea's control, yet fears the flashpoint it represents. Engagement with Eritrea is now a necessity, not a choice. The question remains, does Eritrea's grip bring security, or is it a gamble that could unleash catastrophe?